Hey guys, and welcome to Cosplay Academy, where we teach you different things for cosplay construction. And today we're going to be teaching you how to turn a simple paint stick, one of the bigger paint sticks, a simple paint stick into a short sword. Alright, so as you can see, we went ahead and sketched out the basic premise of what we're wanting to do. So what we're going to do is start off by shaving down this section after we go ahead and cut this part of the blade out. This way, once we cut that and flesh it down, then all we have to do is just go back and trim this part down. So this is just the first step, so let's go ahead and get that done really quick. Okay, so now as you see, we went ahead and cut it off and fleshed up the edge of it a little bit. Now, next thing what we'll do is we're going to take our Dremel with the sanding bit and we're going to go ahead and get the rough edges cut down here to give us our blade section, okay? So I'm just using regular little Dremel with the sanding bit on the end of it, in which case, I'll just go along it to take it down halfway on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up the one side, and as you can see, it's starting to take its shape a bit more. Edges are coming around. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hit the other side that we already had marked off. That way we can do it. Now to keep it flush, because some spots that we'll have like right through here is a little bit lower, I basically just take my sanding sticks that I made. It's kind of similar to what you would do with an actual sword in some aspects, because they'll go all the way down the blade to keep it smooth and keep it straight. Alright guys, so went ahead and finished down the other side, and as you can see, we now have a good start to our blade. It's got its shape, it's got a bevel, it's actually got a really sharp edge to it, feels like. It's actually one I need to be careful with. By my luck, I'd cut myself. Because when I make it sharp, I make it sharp, and I think I made it actually too sharp. Now the question comes on the handle. How are we wanting to go about that? I've been thinking about several different ways because I want something that's going to feel right in the hand. And what I'm going to do is we're going to use our Magic Sculpt, our epoxy resin putty, and we're going to make a grip around it and a little guard and everything and get the rough shape on it. Then I just have to go back once it's fully cured and set and just go back and sand it down. So since this one's going to be so time consuming, I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff and start sculpting around it off the camera, and I'll show you what we got. Alright, so I went back over it really quick, added my Magic Sculpt to it, and as a result I got the basic outline shape of what I'm wanting to have on here. Now, I'm trying to go over and touch up on it because a few spots I made it too thin, and as a result, the wood is kind of coming out a little bit. And it's starting to tear in spots now, so it means it's starting to dry a little bit, which is fine. I got the pretty much basic shape of what I want though. So from here, it's a matter of just letting this go ahead and dry and cure, which means I really won't be able to do anything until the next day. But for the most part though, this is ready for what I'm wanting to do. So this is a basic outline for what I'm needing. So once this is done and cured, all I have to do is go back and sand to find details into it that I'm needing, and then we'll move on to paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cure, and then we will be like tomorrow for me, but for you, it'll be just a second. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we took our handle, we went ahead and ground it down, sanded everything down. This is actually about 5 hours worth of work. And I went ahead and put a pattern into the edges on it, just for rough shapes, just to play around with it and see what I can do. So made my own little design on it. Same thing on both sides. Naturally, I'm not that good with the Dremel, so I'm kind of like really shaky with it, so it's kind of really jacked up. But yeah, we're just playing around with it, having some fun. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole thing black, except for the little strip where the tape's going to go down at the end. So I don't have to really worry about that at the moment. But the rest of it, I'm going to go ahead and do the back of the blade, along with the handle, just do the whole handle in black. Alright guys, so I used the last day or so to go ahead and sand everything down and go ahead and paint the whole thing black. Now what I have done from there is I wanted to make the guard silver, so using one of the chrome paint pens, I had proceeded to go and paint over top of it to give it that metallic silver look to it. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up this part of it. Now I'll take all of this and I'm going to go ahead and finish painting it, leaving the part that I edged out black. Then from there, I'm going to go ahead and move on to sealing it. And once I have all this sealed and done, then we're going to go ahead and move on to the last step to finish up our custom short sword. So I'll be back here in just a little bit. Alright guys, so as you see, we now have our blade completely sealed up, so we don't have to worry about anything on it. All one good pretty layer now. Now we're coming to the most crucial part, which is going ahead and finishing up the blade. In which case, we're going to take our metallic stripping that we used in the axe in another video. Went ahead and cut the strip in half, and we're going to just place it along the blade. Now, any excess that we have on here, don't worry about it because we are going to be cutting that off. Now, initially I had the debate whether or not to just fold it over and cut off any excess on it. But where I want to try and have this straight edge on it, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just cut this excess off. So now we're going to take our X-Acto knife, and now with that side cut down, you see we have our flush blade all the way down. Now we're actually going to put it on the tip here, and I'm going to do that after I do this other side really quick, because what we're going to do here is the same principle. We're just going to cut a small piece big enough to just sit on here and finish it up. So, but before we do that, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do down this other side over here. So let's go ahead and do it real quick. And voila guys, we have our finished blade now. Now I will tell you this, when you're putting it down, once again, safety first, be careful because it is sharp metal and it will slit your thumb. I ended up slitting my thumb, so I just made a quick little fix so I could finish this video. for you all, and then I'll patch it up here in a little bit. But it's sliced pretty deep in my thumb because it's a little bit of metal I had hanging out right here. I thought I cut it, but I didn't. So since I didn't cut it, it cut me. But all in all, it turned out fairly decent. Alright guys, so as you see, we have finished our sword, our short sword, our dagger. And it turned out really decent. And, you know, other than cutting myself, it's the first time attempting anything like this, so I definitely enjoyed going along this and trying new stuff, and I'm teaching you something new along the way. Basically, with everything though, rule number one is always be careful. And as you see, as long as you do it right, the metallic strips will make a really pretty blade on them. So all in all, that's it for this episode, guys. Make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see in a future episode of Cosplay Academy. Make sure to click that like button so I know you actually enjoy these. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, so you can be up to date with everything from us here at Tri-State Otaku. Make sure to check out the thumbnail down on the left below me for our featured channel for this week. And also make sure to check out the video on the right for one of the other videos that we have been working on.